Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here. We're on the 9-game NBA main slate on Saturday. A couple things before getting the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works, all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. A max one comment though per video. So start with my Monday night NBA video. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end my Monday night NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, and I'll give away that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, and I'll give away 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal from myself. Also, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support on these videos and the live streams on Twitter. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. But with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. So first, let's look back at my lineup here from Friday night. So Friday was a pretty good night. This is my final lineup. Ish Smith, Jordan McRae, Kent Bazemore, Randall, Joel Embiid, Marcus Smart, Derek Favors, and Devin Booker. If you guys knew in the live stream, once Bill got rolled out, I said, Ish and Jordan McRae are my favorite Wizards. They were both really good, especially McRae. Ish Smith got off to a hot start. He was still fine for, 4K or 4.2K. 28 was more than enough for him. Bazemore is one of those value guys in that pool of many that I've talked about. There's just so many guys you can take shots on. He was okay at 3.5K, nothing special. Randall, 40 fantasy points at I believe at 77.7. He had a really good start, kind of a slow finish. It could have been a bigger game for him. Joel Embiid was nothing special. I expected a little bit more, but it was the Ben Simmons takeover game. I talked about really my main targets there were Embiid and Ben Simmons on the Philly side. If I had Ben Simmons instead of Embiid, it could have been a huge night, but still Embiid didn't kill you, definitely. Marcus Smart, he was one of my favorite plays. He killed it, 46 fantasy points. I know he was super popular, but I was eating the chalk there. Derek Favors, another one of my favorite plays. He was, I believe, 6.2K, 45 fantasy points. I knew the matchup was tough, but he was just getting the minutes, so he was huge. And then Devin Booker as well, 51 fantasy points. I believe he's under 8K as well. So all in all, it was a really good night. I had one guy actually take down a GPP. I think he turned $10 into $2,000. But yeah, it was a really good night. Hopefully you guys made some money as well. And let's see if we can keep it going here for this 9-game slate on Saturday. There is 2 early games, but they are not included on the slate. So there's 11 games total today, but only 9 on the main slate. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at some numbers here. Again, Memphis Clippers and Raptors Nets are not on the main slate. That's the early slate. But we got Jazz Magic at 205. Jazz are by 4.5 points. That one's a really ugly game. Pacers Hawks at 222.5. Pacers favored by 7. We got Thunder Cavs at 213 with Thunder favored by 6.5 points. Celtics Bulls is not out yet. I think we're waiting on that Kemba Walker news. 209.5 over under though. We got Denver and Washington sitting at 222.5 with Denver favored by 11.5 points. So there's a little bit of blowout risk there. We got Hornets Mavs 216.5. Mavs favored by 11.5. Again, a little bit of blowout risk in that game. We got the battle of 2 bottom feeder teams with the Pistons and the Warriors sitting at 213. The Pistons are actually favored by 3 points, surprisingly. We got Spurs Bucks at 228. Bucks favored by 12. Again, some blowout risk there. And then probably my favorite game-to-game stack here, the late night hammer, Pelicans Kings sitting at 226 with the Kings favored by 3 points. But as always, we will start with center, and we got Andre Drummond at the top. We have, let's see, Blake Griffin is ruled out, I believe, already for this game. Won't play Saturday. Yeah, he's already been ruled out, so that's a boost to Drummond. He had definitely an off game there against the Clippers. It blew out. He only played 27 minutes. This game should stay close even with Blake Griffin out, right? I think the Pistons are favored by 3 points. We do want to target bigs against Golden State, and Drummond is under 10K. So I do have interest definitely in Drummond at this price. I think he's a very, very solid spend up. And same thing with Jokic. Now, he just goes in stretches where he has really good games and then has like a stretch of like not so good games. This game against Indiana, I wouldn't be too worried about that. Got in foul trouble, so only played 24 minutes. In a close game, he will get over 30. This is pretty much the best possible spot. But if Brad Beal does miss the game on the Washington side, that would increase the chance of a blowout. So you just got to take that into consideration. Like if you're playing Jokic, there definitely is a little bit of blowout risk there. Sabonis, I really wish he wasn't this expensive because I really want to play him. I still think he is in play, even at an elevated price point here at 8.9. Another really good spot against the Hawks. We have John Collins, I believe, is going to miss that one. Either way, though, I think, yeah, like I said, even at an elevated price point, I think he gets in play because of the great matchup, and I think he can still get like over 50 fantasy points on a good night. Rudy Gobert and Vucevic matching up each other. This game in general is just super, super ugly. The price tag aren't bad in them, but I will not be going there on this slate. Porzingis, him and Hardaway are going to be out for a little bit. They're out indefinitely. So obviously can't go there. John Collins, this is pretty significant. He is questionable. Said he may not play against Boston. So we'll see. If he misses, it's obviously a usage booster guy like Trae Young. And then, unfortunately, we're going to have to consider some of the secondary Hawks pieces. The issue with those secondary pieces is they just have so many guys and no one really ever stands out. Favors, so I was all over him last night at 6.2. The race's price is 7.3. I still think he is in play here, just because of the minutes, right? 30, 27, 35, and 34 in back-to-back games. This is a back-to-back, so maybe he gets limited a little bit, but this is the game that I probably have. If you're going to game stack, it'd probably be my favorite game to game stack. Even though they're like Draftkings, Draftkings did a really good job pricing everyone on the slate. Like no one really stands out as a great play. But again, if I was going to game stack a game, it probably would be this one. So I do have some interest there in favors, even at an elevated price point as well. Kevin Love at 7.3 is fine. I don't mind the price. It dropped down from 8K to 7.3. In a close game, he will get over 30 minutes. This one should stay close. It's at the Cavs, and it's a 6.5 point spread. So I have no issue there with Kevin Love. I think he stands out as a pretty decent play. Aldridge is 7.2. So if the Spurs are going to stay in this game, it's probably going to be because of Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan. Now, the Bucks play at a fast pace, but they're good defensively. Giannis stands on the other side as a really good play if the game stays close. So if you're going to play Giannis, you might want to run it back with one of those Spurs just because if the game stays close, again, probably Aldridge or DeRozan has a really good game. So, like I said, that game is a little bit risky, though, because of the potential for a blowout. But if you're going to play Giannis on the other side, you may want to run it back with one of those Spurs. Holmes at 6.9K, so I kind of like the price here. With Giles being back in the rotation now, they do have like the backup center, right? So Holmes isn't going to play like the 40 minutes, I don't think. But I still think he gets over 30. Again, this is the Pelicans play very, very little defense. I know his price is, not the best, but I still think he is in play there at that price. Steven Adams at 6.8 is fine. Don't see the huge upside, though, at that price. Tristan Thompson at 6.7. Another one of those, if you land on it, it's fine, but I would much rather pay a little bit more for a guy like Kevin Love if I was going to play someone of the Cavs there. The Chicago guys going up against Boston, Markin and Wendell Carter Jr. I don't see myself getting there. Not on this slate, at least. Christian Wood at 5.9 has been getting some decent run. 24, 23, 28, 24. I think in a close game he gets right around 25. But again, DraftKings did a good job. He's 5.9K, so he's not really a great value play like he was a few slates ago. Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell. Also, DraftKings did a good job pricing them up. With no Kristaps, these guys get a boost, but at their respective prices right now, I don't think I can do it. Now, it is a really good spot there against Charlotte, but I don't think I can do it right now. Cantor is listed as questionable. He's at 5.7K. This is somewhat significant. If he misses, I think Daniel Tice would think that was a really good value play, so that's something to keep an eye on. If Cantor plays, he's always going to play for GPPs because he can get you there in limited time. Marquise Chris at 5.7K. I would have some interest if Will Cauley-Stein is out. Now, Golden State burned me a few slates ago, or at least Steve Kerr did with his rotations. Like, they looked secure. All the starters were getting over 30 minutes in, like, a few straight games, and then he ended up running with a bench unit, burst out in foul trouble. So, these Golden State guys are definitely more risky now because those minutes aren't necessarily secure, in my opinion. Other options, I don't mind Miles Turner at that price. The concern is the minutes are very up and down on him. But if he gets like over 30, I think he can definitely get you at that price. Again, the concern is they're kind of all over the place. Paul Millsap at 5.2. It's a really good spot. I just don't see myself going there. Again, Willie Cauley-Stein, if he misses, we could look to a guy like Marquise Chris. So that's someone to keep an eye on. Jan Mahimi, not for me at that price. Alex Len is at least intriguing for GPPs if John Collins gets ruled out. I don't think his minutes will necessarily go up, but his usage will probably go up. So I wouldn't mind taking a shot there if John Collins is ruled out there and Alex Len. Zeller and Biombo, probably not for me. Mason Plumlee's always a guy you can play. If Jokic gets in foul trouble, he gets extended a bit. Daniel Tice, so this is somewhat significant. If Cantor misses, I think Daniel Tice's standout is a really good value play at this price, so that's something to keep an eye on. Khem Birch started, only played 25 minutes, and he's a very, very low usage guy. I don't see myself going there. I do have a little bit of interest there in AP at 3.4. He got in foul trouble there against Portland, so I think he would have got probably over 20 minutes. Either way, a guy's not going to play the huge minutes, but he's at min price, and if he gets right around 20, I think he's a perfectly fine value play to allow you to get some of those studs in your lineup. I think that is it, though. So let's move on to power forward. Again, Giannis. I sound like a broken record every time I break down Giannis, but it's literally the same thing every time. It's, do you think the opposing team keeps it close? If the answer is yes, you probably play Giannis. Again, 11.5 is a little bit too cheap. In close games, he gets 30 to 35 minutes. So, yeah, it's just whether or not you think the Spurs keep it close. Ingram at 8.5. Again, this is my favorite game to game stack, but DraftKings did a good job pricing everyone up in this game. Like, 8.5 kind of feels like a lot to pay for Ingram. Now, the Kings have been playing at a faster pace with De'Aaron Fox in the lineup. And, yeah, even at a lower price point, I think he is viable. The Boston guys, so this is somewhat dependent on Kemba news for me. If Kemba misses, I would have a little more interest there in Tatum, Brown, and Hayward. If Kemba plays, probably not for me. Same thing with Hayward. He's in the same boat as Tatum and Brown. Again, if Kemba misses, I have a little bit more interest there. Gallinari is always one of those guys. It's fine if you land. I don't think he kills you. He's going to get about 30 or so minutes. Not a guy that has huge upside, but I'm fine with it for cash games. Bertans, I believe he is out. I mean, they have him listed as questionable right now. We'll see. If he plays, I would have some interest there if he's not going to be limited. But again, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. TJ Warren, a 5.7K. I mean, with no Malcolm Brogdon, there's a little bit of usage ground. They get 38 minutes. My concern with him always is he's very, very scoring dependent, but in a good spot, I guess he's okay at 5.7. The secondary Charlotte pieces, it's okay if you land on PJ Washington. He never stands out as a great play to me, though. Sekou, I don't know what they were doing with his price. They raised him up to 5.5K after he played 27 minutes. Obviously, you can't go there. Just thought it was funny that they raised him up so significantly. Bielitsa, I have a little bit of interest there, 5.5. Probably gets about 30 or so minutes. He is a guy that if he gets hot, he can get you 30, 40 fancy points on a good night. Jabari Parker, so if John Collins gets ruled out and they insert Jabari Parker into the starting lineup, I would have interest there definitely at this price. But if they insert someone else in the starting lineup and they keep Jabari on the bench, I just don't think he gets enough runs. So this is definitely dependent on John Collins' news. And if Jabari starts, I think he would stand out as a really good value play there, 4.9. Miles Bridges, kind of the same thing with PJ Washington. They just ride at the hot hand. I can't feel confident about targeting him. DeAndre Hunter, you could give a look to if John Collins is out. But again, the secondary Hawks pieces are just, they use so many guys. Michael Porter Jr., just thought I'd bring it up. So he's been getting a little bit of run here. 19, 26, 11, and then 23 that last game. Played really well. Shot the ball 11 of 12. Don't think we can expect that again. But this is a really good spot, and maybe Mike Malone interested in him starting lineup since he's been playing well. I don't know. We'll see. I think he's more in play for GPPs. But I do have a little bit of interest there. Because if he gets hot, he has flashed a little bit upside there recently. Trevor Ariza, I actually do have a little bit of interest in him as a value play. We have Bogdanovich listed as questionable. If he misses, I think Trevor Ariza gets a little bit more run, probably closer to 30 minutes. He's a very low usage guy, but if he gets a little bit more run and a price of under 4K, I have some interest there as a value guy. Pascal, so again, the bench unit for Golden State got extended a little bit. He got 26 minutes that last game. Obviously, if he gets 26 minutes again, I would have some interest, but Steve Kerr's rotations right now, a little bit hard to trust, so a little bit of interest there, but again, I don't know really how many minutes he's going to get. I think that is basically it, so let's move on to small forward. We got Doncic at the top at 12.4, no Porzingis. Obviously, you can't go wrong here. It's a really good spot here against Charlotte. So if you feel comfortable with the value, guys, 100% you can get Luka in there. I really don't see a downside to him. The only downside is really the price. But again, if you feel comfortable with the value, guys, 100% you can go Luka. I like him as a spend up. Again, I like Giannis as a spend up as well. There's a little bit more blowout risk in that one, though. Beal, so this is somewhat significant. If he plays, I would actually have a little bit of interest there at that price. I know it's a really bad spot, but 8.3K for Brad Beal seems a little bit too cheap. Now, if he misses, then we can look at those secondary pieces like Jordan McRae, like Ish Smith, like Troy Brown. Like those guys would all come viable, even in a bad spot there against Denver. Let's see. Other options, Will Barton. Again, they did a good job finally raising his price, 7.3. I still have some interest there because it's a really good spot. We know he gets, right around 35 or so minutes. So I still think at an elevated price point he is in play. Buddy Hield, I like the price on him a decent amount. They raised it a little bit, but I don't think as much as they needed to. 7.1K, 37, 36, 37, 34. Him and De'Aaron Fox are kind of the main catalysts right now in the offense. Again, a really good spot here against the Pelicans. So I do like Buddy Hield a decent amount there at that price. DeRozan, same thing with Aldridge there. My same analysis. If you're going to play Giannis, you're probably going to want to run it back with one of those Spurs because if the Spurs keep it close, it's most likely DeRozan or Aldridge having a good game. Jeremy Lamb, he had a big game the last time out. Shot the ball really well. I'm not going to chase it, though, at an elevated price. Draymond Green, again, the starters, they were playing somewhat consistent minutes, and then played 22 the last game. Obviously, if he gets like 30 or so minutes, I'd have more interest, but it's just kind of hard to trust right now. Joe Ingles always stands out as a safe play, in my opinion. Even in a slow game here, I think he's fine if you land on him at that price. Burke, so with no D'Angelo Russell, was inserted in the starting lineup and got 5 fouls. A little bit unlucky there. He got limited. I would have a little bit of interest there, but again, you can't really trust what Steve Kerr's doing right now with those rotations. Kennard's once again out for Detroit. Again, Bogdan is questionable. If he misses, we could look at a guy like Trevor Ariza as a value play. If Bogdan plays, I just don't know if I can do it. He's been banged up kind of all season right now, so I don't think I can do it even if he plays. Troy Brown, again, those secondary pieces would be coming into play if Beal does miss. Golden Robinson's okay at 5.3. Again, we have no Hardaway Jr., but I still don't trust those Dallas secondary pieces. We saw Brunson started the last time out, and then he was not even in the rotation to the very end of the game. So it's just Carlisle rides the hot hand. It's too hard to trust those secondary Dallas pieces, in my opinion. Chris Dunn, I actually don't mind the price of 4.7, even in a tough spot. Besides that game against Milwaukee, which blew out, he's got 32, 30, and 31 minutes, so I think he's fine as a value play. Terrence Ross, if you guys watch my live stream, he actually was my favorite Orlando guy. Someone asked who was your favorite Magic guy. I said Terrence Ross for his price. He had a good shooting night, right? But that's kind of what he does. If he's shooting the ball well, he has the upside game. He had 34 fantasy points. In a tough spot, I just don't see myself going there. Josh Hart, JJ Redick, these guys probably get about 25 or so minutes. The price is coming up there to Josh Hart. Doesn't feel great. Same with Etuan Moore, right? Him, JJ, Josh Hart all kind of splitting the minutes. All should get right around 25 or so minutes. If you land on one of those guys, it's okay, but I don't feel great about it. On the Cleveland side, we do have no Kevin Porter Jr. as well as no Larry Nance. Let me just go to Cleveland really quick here. So like not like Nance was playing huge minutes, but right around 20. Kevin Porter was playing, right around 25. So let's do have to go somewhere. I think CD maybe picks up a few extra minutes. I don't mind him here, 4.3. I think he's fine as a value play. Maybe Garland and Sexton get a little bit extra run. They go more small ball. Garland has been decent recently, 4.6K. I do have a little bit of interest there. Who else can get a little bit more? I don't know if I would take shots on any of these guys down here, but yeah, like I said, like Kevin Love is probably my favorite player there at the top, but I actually don't mind some of the secondary pieces with no Kevin Porter Jr., with no Nance. Like C.D. Osman and Garland, I think, are very much in play. Normally, Cleveland is a team that I avoid the secondary pieces, but they do have some injuries there. Back to small forward. Anyone else here? Let's see. Probably, Lonnie Walker, I guess, 3.6. I believe we have, hold on. Let me confirm this. DeJounte Murray, I believe, is out in this one. Yeah, he is out. They don't really play the same position, but Maybe Lonnie Walker gets a little extra run here, 3.6K. Got 21 minutes that last game out. So, yeah, again, another one of those situations is hard to trust because it's Popovich. Those rotations are a bit all over the place as well. But that is really it, though, for small forwards. Let's move on to shooting guard. Beal at the top, again, if he plays, I do like the salary. I don't like the matchup, but 8.3K does stand out as a really appealing price. We still have no D'Angelo Russell, so we can consider those secondary Golden State pieces, but, Steve Kerr, the last game, really ran just, no one got huge minutes in the last game, so it is a little bit more risky to target those secondary Golden State pieces. Now, Drew Holiday at 7.9, I think is very much in play. He kind of had an off game there against the Lakers. I still got 36 minutes. The thing with him is, him and Ingram, we know they're going to get like 35 or so minutes in a close game. This game should be played at a faster pace, so I do have some interest there in Drew. Jamal Murray, again, Draftkings did a good job pricing everyone up. 7.5K. Now I think he's priced accordingly. But this is again, the best possible matchup. If Washington keeps it close, I think a couple of those Denver guys like Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Jokic, probably the three guys I'm the most interested in, could have one or two of those guys could have a pretty big game. Levine, another situation where I don't like the matchup, but I do kind of like the price there, 7.5. He's listed as probable. They've been listing him as probable the last, 5 to 10 games. I have full confidence he's going to go. The good thing with him is the shots, right? 26, 15, 23, 26. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. This is, again, not really a good spot, but at 7.5K, I don't mind the salary. SGA has been really good last 3 games. 39, 35, and 36 minutes. 49, 43, and 47 fantasy points. This game, Cleveland, they don't play a whole lot of defense, so this is a pretty solid matchup. And the good thing, at least for me targeting him, is the peripheral stats have been going up a little bit, right? The rebounds, 7, 10, 7. He's been getting a few assists too, 5, 3, 2. But that's just good to see because earlier on in the season, he's a little bit more scoring dependent. I still think he is a little bit more scoring dependent of a guard, but it's nice to see him get those peripheral stats. So I think SGA is a little bit underpriced right now for his level of production. So I do have a good amount of interest there at that price. Brogdon is once again out. He can't catch a break with his injuries. I'll talk about some other Indiana guards here in a bit. Schroeder up minus 6.6 coming off the bench. You can always look to him in GPPs. Rozier I actually think stands out as a pretty good play at 6.2. Now another guy that has been a little bit up and down for DFS purposes, but the minutes have been secure for him. 36, 37, 34, 39. 6.2K for a guy that gets about 35 or so minutes and does have upside games in him. I think stands out as a pretty good play at his price. Derrick Rose, don't mind taking a shot there for GPPs. Again, Detroit really depleted. It's kind of him and Drummond, the main catalyst right now on the offense. The concern with him is he's never going to get the big minutes, but in about 27 or so minutes, he can get you there in that time. And so I do have some interest there for D Rose for GPPs. McRae, so again, if Beal gets ruled out, that's when we can target some of those secondary pieces. McRae was huge for me last night at 5.7. I would have interest there. Now, Aaron Holiday, I think, stands out as a pretty good option. Now, I wouldn't be so worried about that only 22 minutes with no Malcolm Brogdon. He got in foul trouble, so I think in a close game, he gets about 30 or so. And in an up-tempo game against the Hawks, with, again, no Malcolm Brogdon, I think those minutes should be pretty secure at around 30. I do have a good amount of interest there in Aaron Holiday as well. Bruce Brown, I don't know what to do with him. He came off the bench, only played 30 minutes. Again, he's going to have to step it up with a lot of those Detroit guys out. I guess I have a little bit of interest there in him. I would have a little bit more, I guess, if he does start. Marcus Smart, so this is completely dependent on Kemba Walker news. If Kemba Walker misses, Marcus Smart stands out as one of my favorite plays. Probably my favorite play, again, at 5.4. If Kemba plays, I would not have a whole lot of interest there in Smart at that price. So the secondary Dallas pieces with no Hardaway, with no Porzingis, I just can't trust it. No one's playing huge minutes. Like Curry got 31. He shot the ball really well. But at 5K, I don't feel like taking a shot there. JJ Barea started, got 21 minutes, but at 4.8, don't see enough meat in the bone there. So I just don't see myself targeting those secondary Dallas pieces. DeLon Wright, I mean, if he does miss, I guess there would be a little bit more minutes to go around for guys like Seth Curry and for guys like JJ Barea. So I guess, if he does miss, you could have a little bit more confidence targeting those guys, but still, Rick Carlisle is kind of a headache. He rides with a hot hand. Let's see. Other options. So Derek White, I think, does stand out as a pretty decent play. We're going to see who they end up starting for DeJounte Murray, whether it be him, whether it be Patty Mills. I mean, Bryn Forbes will get a little more run. So this is, that is somewhat significant with DeJounte Murray being out. I do have some interest there in Derek White, especially if he starts at 4.2K. Gary Payton, just thought I'd bring it up. So he got 35 minutes, only had 12 fantasy points. But the good thing to see was the minutes were there. And earlier on, like, he had flashed the upside games in them. So if Brad Beal is out, I think Gary Payton would stand out as a pretty good value play because, the minutes were there for him. Now, there was one game, I believe it was against Miami, where Beal was out and he only got 14 minutes. So I guess it's a little bit tricky, but I have a little bit more confidence because I saw him get the big minutes with Beal out. So obviously you can only go there if Beal is out. JJ Redick, and I don't mind him. Him, Etuan Moore, Hart, all got right around 25 or so minutes. He is a little bit scoring dependent, but at this price point, I think he is viable. Yeah, Forbes. So Forbes, Patty Mills, maybe even like a Lonnie Walker. These guys will probably get a little extra run with no DeJounte Murray. I think all three of those guys are fine. Brunson, so he was somewhat popular the other night. Only played 11 minutes. Again, I just can't trust it right now. Unless he starts, I can't go there. I think that is basically it, though, for shooting guards. So I'm on a point guard. Again, talked about Luka. I'm fine with it. I like him as a spend up if you feel comfortable with those value guys. Trae Young, I think, stands out as a really good play as well. At under 10K, 9.5. We have no John Collins, too, so the upside is pretty high. We know he's going to be the main catalyst in the offense. So I do like Trae Young a good amount of this price. I know it's not really the best spot, but I do like Trae a good amount of this price. De'Aaron Fox, it's killing me. They raise his price a lot. Oh, I wish he was staying at right around 7.5K because he would be like one of my favorite plays. Even at 8.6K, I still like him at this price. Again, DraftKings did a really good job raising players and their prices, but I still have interest here in Fox, even at an elevated price point. Kemba, again, if he's out, then I think Marcus Smart stands out as one of the best plays. Then we can target those other secondary pieces. If Kemba plays, all in all, Boston, no one really stands out there. Let's see, CP3, don't mind at 7.8K. He's a guy that will get more of the peripheral stats. If you don't feel confident with SGA, I'm fine with Chris Paul at a similar price point. Devontae Graham, kind of my same analysis with Ogier. I guess the downside with him is his price is a little more expensive, but he's still 46, 35, 38, 41 minutes. He's playing the big minutes, and his price did come down a bit to 7.6. So I do like Devontae Graham a decent amount as well at that price. Lonzo Ball, I have some interest here. The minutes have been pretty consistent, 36, 30, 40, 33. So he's getting about over 30 minutes every single night. This game should be played at a faster pace. So again, I don't mind Lonzo at that price. Bledsoe, I can only go there if they're going to, not limit his minutes. But his first couple games back, 16 and 20. I can't go there right now until I see him playing more minutes. Other options, let's say again, DeJounte Murray, he is out. That's big for those secondary guards that I talked about for San Antonio. Isaiah Thomas got ejected in 1 minute the last game. If Beal's out and Isaiah plays in this one, he's okay at this price. TJ McConnell, again, they did a good job raising his price with no Malcolm Brogdon. I think Aaron Holiday is probably the safer play. He'll play more minutes. Again, he got a little bit extra run there because Holiday got in foul trouble, but I still have a little bit of interest here in McConnell because of the great matchup. I think he gets right around 20 or so minutes. Ish Smith, so I wouldn't mind going back to the wall there if Beal's out. Again, that's something we go to monitor. Now, we did get a boost. We got a little bit lucky with Isaiah Thomas getting ejected, but I still would have a little bit of interest there in Ish if Beal is out. Garland, so again, normally I don't target these secondary Cleveland pieces, but with Nance out, with Kevin Porter Jr. out, there's just more minutes to go around. Maybe Garland gets a little bit more run. We'll see. I mean, he has got 34 and 34 in back-to-back games. He's at 4.6K. I actually think he stands out as a pretty decent option at this price. Kai Bowman, again, him and Pascal got extended a bit that last game. You can take a shot there. I just don't feel great because Steve Kerr in his rotations right now. I think that is really it, though. So again, all in all, guys, DraftKings, they did a pretty good job at just pricing everyone. No one really stands out as a great play. I think probably my favorite play would be Marcus Smart if Kemba gets ruled out. But there's a lot of different ways you can go on the slate. As far as games and game stacks, for my favorite game stacks, again, I think it is that late night hammer probably being my favorite with the Pelicans Kings. But, don't mind, Charlotte and Dallas if you want to play like Rozier, Devontae Graham running back with Luka. Or, if you think San Antonio keeps it close, you can play Giannis and run it back with one of those Spurs. Denver, Washington does intrigue me if Beal plays. I think they have a better chance of keeping it close. You could play Beal and then run it back with one of those Denver guys. I think Trae Young's price stands out a decent amount here in that Indiana-Atlanta game. OKC, Cleveland, there actually are some appealing plays on the Cleveland side. Again, on the OKC side, you got those guards, SGA, Chris Paul, Schroeder. Utah, Orlando, kind of a fade for me that game. Not very appealing for DFS purposes. But that is about it. So, I will be live streaming before lock, probably 45 minutes on my YouTube channel. So be sure to check out the live stream, guys. I'll go over all the news throughout the day, as well as answer any questions you guys have. And then it's also important to follow me on Twitter. That will be in the description below. I will give my thoughts. If you can't make the live stream, I'll give my thoughts as we get that news throughout the rest of the day again. But thanks again for everyone coming to check the video, and I will see you guys later in the live stream.